And joining us now, before we get to your calls, is Congressman Mike McCaul from the great state of Texas. He's chairman of the Committee on Homeland Security, and he has a lot of questions still as to what's happened post-Benghazi, including why the State Department is not offering, as part of its rewards program, a significant reward for the information leading to the capture of those suspects responsible for the killing of these Americans. And he joins us now. Congressman, excuse my voice. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Congressman, I'm sure you watched the 60 Minutes report.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's all so needless. But for the purposes of this State Department issue, then we'll get into the broader question. Why do you think that reward is not being offered where other rewards have been in place for years for suspects who are on the loose for a variety of terrorist involvements?
Well, I don't think it's a priority of this administration. I don't think they have any interest in tracking down these terrorists that killed our ambassador. It's very disturbing. And I thought the 60 Minutes piece was very compelling, powerful, and disturbing as well. Basically what this program is it's their most wanted list within the State Department. And why wouldn't the terrorists that killed our U.S. ambassador be on that most wanted list? This program has brought people like Ramzi Youssef, the 93 World Trade Center bomber, who conspired with his uncle Khalid Sheikh Mohammed for 9/11, brought him to justice. They brought Saddam Hussein's brothers to justice. It's worked in multiple cases. It's thwarted multiple terrorist plots. And yet this is probably one of the most significant, high-profile foreign policy fiascos of this administration. And yet these individuals, and we know there are 13 sealed indictments out there on them, so we know who the individuals are, and yet they're not on the most wanted list. And, it's interesting that a CNN reporter was able to talk to the leader of this group in a coffee shop in Libya, and yet we can't hunt them down and bring them to justice.
Well, this is what the president, to remind all of our listeners, this is what the president said in the Rose Garden on September 12th, 2012.
We will not waver in our commitment to see that justice is done for this terrible act, and make no mistake, justice will be done.
Congressman, a simple question. Do you think justice will be done here?
I'm skeptical. He is wavering. I don't understand why they're not pursuing this. And, the biggest takeaway I got from the 60 Minutes piece was when the Green Beret, the one you played on your show, was talking about when he got to Benghazi that the black flags of Al-Qaeda were flying everywhere. And they warned the State Department and the White House multiple times with 4 different cables. And the most recent, 2 weeks before 9/11, emergency cable from the ambassador himself requesting additional security, warning that there were these Al-Qaeda groups all around the compound. And yet when everything goes down on 9/11, the immediate response is they blame it on this video out of Florida. I don't understand this narrative that we can't use the word Al-Qaeda. We can't talk about terrorism. We're going to say that it was not an act of terrorism on 9/11. And we're going to call, for instance, Fort Hood workplace violence. It's a disturbing narrative that we're seeing over and over again, when the fact is, whether it's Libya or all of northern Africa, Al-Qaeda is spreading like a wildfire right now. And with that comes a threat to the homeland. And that's one of my biggest concerns. We've got to bring these guys to justice for the victims here and their families. You got a Navy SEAL, 2 Foreign Service officers, and an ambassador killed. And we have to bring these guys to justice.
You're listening to the Laura Ingraham Show. Congressman Mike McCaul is not stopping in the pursuit of, the truth. And, of course, justice. Because if people realize that they can kill Americans with impunity, and they see that this doesn't seem to be a priority for any administration, the Obama administration or any administration, that does send a terrible signal to those who want to do us harm, both abroad and at home.